A little bit more than that when I say her name. Your next comic runs a terrific show every Saturday at the Lincoln Lodge at 9 p.m. called Prime Time. It's fantastic. She's fantastic. Start clapping enough for Maeve Devitt, everybody.
How are we doing, everyone? Good. We got a good-looking crowd. A lot of beautiful women. Don't like that. Front row, don't like that at all. I'm very competitive. Very competitive with other women. All women are competitive with other women, period. Yes. And this is not a question. It's the truth. And I said that a couple shows ago, and this woman was like, only if you're, like, morally, like, weak. I was like, shut the fuck up. You're the first to go. You're on number one on my fucking list. I'm very competitive with other women, and it's gotten so bad recently that... So I recently became an aunt for the first time, and the competitive thing. Let's calm down with the wooing over there. Add her to the list. But I recently became an aunt to a little girl, and when she was born, came out 6 pounds 8 ounces, skinny bitch. My first thought was, she better not be prettier than me. That's not a good first thought. They made me her godmother. She's absolutely fucked. But it's also bad because I'll be walking down the street and I'll see like a missing woman's poster on a tree. She'll be just like this beautiful blonde girl, 5'8", 110 pounds, beautiful blue eyes. Stay gone. Stay gone. I'm going up to the police. I'm like covering their eyes. I'm like, stop looking! Stop looking! She's in my apartment. It's fine. It's fine. She's in my apartment. It's fine. That's not good. And like, okay, so I moved into a new apartment recently, and I'm not trying to brag, but excluding the front and back doors, the inside has 3 doors. Rich. Rich is what that means. And so every night before I go to bed, what I like have to do, legally what I have to do is check behind every door to make sure nobody's there to get me. All the women are nodding, all the men are like, how am I gonna get behind those doors? How am I gonna finagle this? So first door I check behind, nobody's there. Amazing. Second door I check behind, nobody's there. We're gonna make it through the night. This is great news. By the third door when nobody's there, I'm like, okay. Thought I was hot enough to be murdered. What's going on? Do criminals think I'm a 6? I'm a Chicago 8. I'm solid. I know myself. I know who I am. Can't catch a fucking break. Always the bridesmaid, never pulled from the bottom of the lake. What's a girl to do? What's a girl to do? I don't actually want to die. I just am like desperate for attention if that wasn't completely obvious from the second I opened my mouth. Really, really love attention. The main reason I don't want to die is because I grew up Catholic, and Catholic funerals are embarrassing. Like, all funerals are embarrassing. Like, all funerals just on their own without the guy in a dress standing over you going, ah. And that is Little Mermaid, but it kind of works for both. It kind of works. You guys wouldn't really have noticed unless I said something. But besides all that nonsense, like, open casket funerals are an issue. There's just like somebody laying there just like embalmed. Like, gross. I think if you know you're gonna die and you have time to prep, like, get some good work done. Like, if I have to look at you laying there, give me something to look at. Get some new tits. Listen. But yeah, I'm like embarrassed already that my family's gonna bury me like a young Republican, just like a high neck navy blue dress and pearls. Yeah. Bury me in a crop top and let me die like a whore. Like the good Lord intended. I'm also like really, okay, so this is actually like when I think about like my funeral, it's just like this intrusive thought that just like constantly runs through my head. So like my biggest fear of my funeral is that the hottest guy from my high school, Peter Hafner, is going to show up and see me laying there and still not want to fuck me. It's so disrespectful of the dead. That's so disrespectful of the dead. Yeah. Do you guys think about your death? Yeah, a serious nod. How often? As often as I do? It's like, yeah, it's this child's play, bitch. You fucking pussy. No, I'm kidding. I'm sure you're nice. When you think about your okay, what do you want to happen to your body when you die? Shut the fuck up. That's exactly the answer I was looking for. That is exactly. I didn't know that was the answer I was looking for, but that was the answer I was looking for. When people say cremated, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking kill you right now. So boring. I had somebody last show say they wanted to be cremated, and I started to boo him, and then he said, but I want to be sprinkled over the food at my funeral. And I just love the idea of his niece just shitting him out later that day. I think that's really nice. Full circle. It's like a whole full circle family moment. It really makes you understand how big the world is, and we're just a small portion of it. They're like, oh, yeah, it's Uncle Brian. He got in there. I love that. You want to be shot out of a cannon. Fuck yeah, dude. I love big ideas like that. I love big ideas. I'm like so scared of death, but like the control. Like I want to have control in like that final moment. And I love the idea of like kind of given back to the earth in some way. Like I would want to be turned into a tree. That's kind of like a common one people say, being turned into a tree. Or I'd want to be turned into like a diamond. They can take your ashes and crush the fuck out of them and turn into a diamond. I'm not really sure. Just around my niece's neck. Or like a skin lamp. Gotta use the whole animal. Got to use the whole animal. Okay, so that I have to tell you, I have to be honest. That joke is my ode to Ed Gein. Any Ed Gein heads in the house? Ed Gein heads. Okay, for those of you who don't know, Ed Gein is an American serial killer who so I like to call him, he's like the Etsy serial killer, because he turned his victims like remains and he turned them into like household objects and clothes. It was kind of innovative. So like he made a skin lamp. One that I love is he made a nipple belt. Kind of cute. And my ultimate, this is one I learned recently. He made a chair out of his victims' remains. He goes, a chair is hard enough to make out of wood. How are we not freaking out? Okay, separate the art from the artist, you guys. That's absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely. Okay, well, I'll leave you on this one thing that's not as fucked up. So I work in PR, whatever, I work. And my coworkers suck ass, pretty much. There's one in particular who makes me nuts, and I will say one nice thing about her before I roast her ass. So one nice thing about her, like we'll go out for drinks after work a lot, and she'll say this cute little thing. She'll go, drinks on me. Which is amazing, because we make the same amount of money, and I cannot afford to say those words. Like, if you ever hear me say drinks on me, you know I'm about to kill myself. And I gotta liquidate my assets. But the number one thing that pisses me off about her is that she's a blonde. Boo! And she dyes her hair red and tells people she's a natural redhead. Show me your pubes. Okay, thank you, Humble Juggle. I've been Maeve Devitt.
Keep it going for Maeve, everybody. Let her hear it. Maeve was talking about funerals, and then she mentioned an Uncle Brian, which is really weird because I have an Uncle Brian, and he owns a funeral home. So last month I saw his penis. Not a bad summer. It's just, for those of you wondering, Joe, why? My uncle owns a pontoon boat, so I sucked his dick. You think those chicks in the playpen are the only ones sucking and fucking their way through a good summer? Okay. Instead of a Saudi Arabian guy with a yacht, it's my Uncle Brian. Instead of a yacht, it's a pontoon boat. Instead of Lake Michigan, it's the Tuskegee River.